Hey, Steve Cortez here on the west side of Chicago, Democratic National Convention at United Center. The Democrats, of course, want open borders and want an endless stream of illegal migrants pouring into the United States. This is my new acquaintance, Edwin. Say hello.
My name is Edwin. Nice to meet you.
Edwin is from Venezuela. And we're going to take Edwin into the DNC so that he can meet the Democrats who want open borders. He should meet his new friends, hear the speakers, and learn about the Democratic Party. So, Edwin, let's head in, shall we?
Excelente.
Right. This is Edwin from Venezuela, migrant, invited in by the Democrat Party. He'd like to come into the Democratic Convention.
You have to get your credentials.
Some credentials.
Yep, you have to go to Jackson.
Yep.
Wait, you mean he needs credentials and permission to come in?
Yes.
To get past the wall?
Yes.
Oh, it's like a border wall in a way, huh?
Yeah. You have to have ID, credentials.
He can come in.
To come to the United States?
No, to come
Not to come to the
here.
United States. Okay, but
No,
to come to
just
the Democratic
come through
Convention.
here, baby.
Okay. You believe in security. You believe in securing a boundary. Edwin can't come in.
Without credentials.
That's all I know.
I commend you on guarding this border. You're doing it very effectively, folks. Good morning. Hi there. We would like to get some credentials for Edwin. Come on, Edwin. Edwin is from Venezuela.
I am right.
So we tried to get Edwin into the convention. He's a migrant from Venezuela. No organization, just American. And he's a migrant from Venezuela. Wanted to get into the convention. We figured that we'd love to have a migrant from Venezuela come in. They said we need to get credentials, so we're here to get the credentials.
Okay. Has anyone filled out an application for him?
So you have to. There's a process in the application. He didn't have that at the border.
Okay. I have my own personal beliefs on this, but right now I'm serving as custody. So I'd ask you to turn the camera off.
Just to be clear, we have been ejected from the DNC credentialing office because we're not permitted to be here. We don't have permission. We didn't go through the application process. It seems like the United States would use similar rules about crossing the U.S. border. DNC doesn't believe in that, but they do believe in it for their own convention. This is Edwin. He's from Venezuela. He's a migrant. Democratic Party wants an endless stream of migrants into America, so I'd like him to go and meet his political friends, listen to the speeches, and come in the Democratic Convention. Well, you're laughing. He's allowed to come to the United States without identification or permission. Can he come into the DNC?
I don't think the Secret Service is going to go for it. No.
They're not going to go for it? Well, they went for it at the border.
Well, maybe he can get credentials.
Stop. How can we help you, sir?
We'd like to get Edwin in. The Democratic Party invited him into America from Venezuela. We'd like to get Edwin in to meet his Democratic friends.
No, they
Do you need credentials to go in the United States?
We're done.
Do you need credentials to go in the United States?
You need credentials to pass this point.
So we do need credentials here to get past this heavily armed barrier. Well, Edwin, Kamala Harris has an open border. You're allowed in America. You're not allowed into her party. Oh, well, Edwin, we tried. 2 gates, credentials, 0 for 3. That's a strikeout in BS, see? Tres strikes. We're out.
Podría haber una diferencia.
Same in Caracas, same in Venezuela.
Yeah.
A taxpayer-funded group is offering $30,000 to new home buyers. Lauren, you cannot apply if you're an American citizen. What's with that?
Why would an American citizen apply for a taxpayer-funded program to get $30,000 for a new home? I mean, it's wild. The group is called Hacienda Community Development Corporation. They offer payment assistance in Oregon to DACA recipients, asylees, green card holders, basically any non-U.S. citizen. This is state-sponsored discrimination, Stuart. That's what it is. I mean, it's crazy. That's their goal. They want to open up housing and the American dream to non-U.S. citizens.
Okay, I guess that's the reason why that's why we have an open border, because eventually these folks will vote and vote Democrat because they're the people who let them in. That's what this is about.
Part of me wants to say crazy things happen in Oregon, but I think this will go far beyond Oregon. There is a critical shortage of houses across the United States, particularly in Oregon, and then they're giving $30,000 to non-taxpayers.
Yeah, which will raise the price of houses.
For everybody else.
Get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there.
Downtown has 3 to 4 illegal families on every block begging for work and selling Kit Kat bars after $1 billion was spent on them. Where is that money? Where is the money for the South Side and the West Side communities? Not another dollar for the illegals. If the crisis is so bad, the city council members who are so concerned should donate their salaries to the cause like a real public servant should.
That's from a recent, yesterday it was breaking live during this hour. That's from that city council meeting. And we couldn't see everybody, but we played it for you anyway. Now we have so much more of it to play. Illinois has spent more than $1 billion of Chicago tax money already on the people who are there. Kata Truss has lived in Chicago her entire life. Kata, how bad is it?
It's really bad. And the sentiment of most of Chicago is that of the young lady, one of the young ladies that you heard, Jessica. The sentiment of Chicagoans is the same. And I just listened to the soundbite with Governor Pritzker, who wants to blame Governor Abbott. But I think that we have to be realistic in thinking about what the state of Texas was going through before they began busing migrants here. And I don't think we really think about that. So we're looking at it now as Chicagoans receiving migrants from the state of Texas. But imagine what it must be like in that state of Texas on a daily basis where people are arriving. Our president, President Biden, has not done enough. He has not done enough to secure the borders. He has not done enough to go in and propose some legislation that he can push forth himself to change this situation. And I'm telling you, we're so angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity. This year, we're working to turn Chicago red. We are so angry with Pritzker and with President Biden and with our mayor that we have decided that we're going to vote Republican this time around. Wow. That's just how angry we are. We are so angry that we are willing and going to turn our backs on the Democratic Party. I sat in some of those city council meetings, and I looked at and I watched the aldermen totally disregard the voices of the people. And when I was going down there, we were coming down every week in the hundreds. And what we said did not matter. And when we were talking about changing Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, and keep in mind, we still have a right to do that. Just like Biden has the right to put forth an executive order to change the crisis at the border, Chicago's mayor has the right to put forth an executive order to change Chicago's sanctuary city.
Will he do it?
Of course he will not do it. If he was going to do it, it would have been done. And remember, there was a vote within City Council where the ordinance to change it was strucken down. And the mayor was the deciding vote.
Chicago had a choice after Lori Lightfoot, who was breaking COVID protocols to go get her hair done and all sorts of things. They didn't have to go farther left with Brandon Johnson. Why did you vote for him?
I voted for Brandon Johnson because I knew him. I voted for Brandon Johnson because I thought that he would be good for Chicago. I voted for Brandon Johnson because, really, I didn't do my homework. Because had I done my homework and paid attention to the alliances and who he was with and who groomed him, I would have known better and I would have voted differently. And that brings me to the challenge of really standing up and not just saying to Chicagoans or Illinoisans, but to all voters in this country, it is time for us to stand up and to vote our self-interest. We vote along party lines, especially as African Americans, and that needs to change. We need to start voting for people who are going to promote our self-interest. And that may not be a Democrat, and it may not be a Republican. It may be an independent candidate. It may be a Green Party candidate. But I think that now we have come to a point in this country where we have to stop marrying ourselves to party, stop voting along ethnic lines, because we're seeing that that is not working for us. And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Wow.
I think the Republicans need to come and see us. I think they need to come and talk to us because let me just say this, that the Republican Party has not been spotless, and there are certainly some issues that we would love to discuss with them that I think that we can have some common ground on.
Okay.
I think that we can agree to be disagreeable on some issues, but yes, this is the perfect time for the Republican Party to come into the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and sit down and talk to the people because we are looking for change.
Cotto Trust, God bless you. Thank you so much. You put a lot on a lot of people's minds today. And I wish you well in Chicago. I know you're dealing with a lot of citizens.
Would you call the border secure?
The border is secure.
You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border.
After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.